Okay, we're here. Wait,
Hello, hello, hello.
I make Tia big because she's our
Don't
guest
want
today.
lah. Small. I see my face so big, I very scared.
Okay, I make it more equal. Mine is as big as yours.
Wow, if we were men, right, that would be one hell of a joke.
Okay, someone saying, hi Tia, I'm staying up in NZ, New Zealand, just to hear you speak, Priscilla.
Oh, hello Priscilla.
Aw. Okay, Ling, please go.
Hi, welcome everybody. Give me a second. I'm just like pulling up some information.
So
Yeah,
anyway,
Do you want to take?
You go ahead.
Okay. For everyone, if you're new here, this is what we do every other Wednesday. We gather here, talk about our cats. So it's like a weird cat lady version of Ladies' Night on every Wednesday, every other Wednesday. Yeah. And today we have with us many cat lovers, cat parents, and also Tia. So Tia's been an animal communicator and Reiki practitioner for about 10 years now. She also does Akashic record reading for humans. So very interesting. And her journey started out helping animals with she started helping out with animals at volunteering at a shelter. But I think ever since then you stopped rescuing already, right? Rescuing and fostering so much.
I started helping out at the shelter, but more towards fostering and adopting those that need help at home. So like home care now.
Is Ling?
Yeah.
Ling's frozen.
So, just now you were saying how many?
Currently,
Ling's frozen.
Oh,
Ling is back. Ling is frozen. Ling is back. Okay. Yeah. So now you currently have 3 adopted fur babies, right?
4. One dog, 3 cats.
1 dog, 3 cats.
Mm.
Yeah. So Tia will be sharing more today as well. But first we'll be going into the energetic reports, right?
Yeah.
Eileen?
Yeah. Can you all hear me? Hello?
Can.
Okay. Okay. So very, very excited. I tell you right, before this session, right, I had so many like questions about like communicating with our pets, and I know that quite a few of our friends actually has used Tia services before, and everyone has really good reviews. So I'm like very excited. So we have Jasmine here. Jasmine is saying hi. Apparently, she had 3 cats, right? Sesame, Carla, and Gracie. I don't know if you remember them here. It's okay. You have seen so many cats.
I must see the photos and I will recognize.
I'll see the cat, huh? See the cat photos.
You recognize the pets over the owners?
Yeah.
No offense, okay, the pets are just more important. Okay, let me see if I can share. So here, just for some context, right? When we got kittens, we actually sent them for energetic healing, and then Fiona herself also went for got Greyer. Her cat is Greyer for energy healing. And what happens is that we also do this thing called distant healing, where every full moon and new moon, we send them to Amelia to get healing, and we usually get a report. Let me show you. Okay, we start with Mira and Maya first. Tia, please feel free to chime in whatever opinions you have about cats, and then later we'll talk about Grey as well, which is very interesting. Okay, Ling, go.
Okay, so for Mira, Amelia actually extracted heavy energies from lungs and cardiac system and grounded energies of playfulness into her energy field. Mira is feeling joyful and interested in the world around her. This helps her self-healing abilities as she now has the will and hope to live. However, she still needs energy support to stabilize the trauma which is still present, though in lesser amounts in her energy. So basically, she sent blessings to protect her energy for better energy detox and to anchor healing energies to help her self-healing abilities. Yeah, so I mean, it's actually quite progressed quite a bit, because in the beginning, when we first started having the distant healing and everything, Amelia actually said it's now up to her to feel like whether she can find the will and hope to live on her own. So although as owners we can be happy and tell her like, Mira lives, Fiona, Mira lives. Yeah, but
So
ultimately it's up to her.
just to give some context, right? Mira has congenital lungs and heart issue. So we discovered that when we brought her to the vet, but that was because, according to her report, right, she had received trauma from her mother's womb. And the trauma for cats could be anything. So, for example, if the mother was like very fearful of human beings or fearful of like not knowing when they're going to have their next meal, all this could be trauma related. So that's that. And something interesting when we received this report, right? Like you may find her needier of attention than usual. So that day, right, Maya did this thing where she came to mew at me for sayang. Then she went downstairs to mew at Ling for sayang. Then she came up and mew at me. So she did this rotating ask for attention thing the entire afternoon. Oh my god.
Yeah. And then, sometimes in between we meet, we're like, what's up with Maya today? Did she come to you for like multiple, like manjas? And Maya has an interesting meow. She doesn't mew, she doesn't what? She sounds like a squeaky toy.
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
It sounds like a baby.
Yeah, she's pretty expressive. Like, if she eats her favorite wet food or if we help her to do something, she seems like she's saying thank you. She does this voice. I don't know is it thank you or contentment lah. But anyway, I wanted to show you Tia that this is Kala, Sesame, and Gracie.
Yes, I remember.
You remember them now? Yeah.
You remember the cats or the humans?
Both. I remember both.
Okay, Fiona, do you want to share Graya's thing? I love
To be
this.
honest, I just got this and I haven't fully digested because like there's a lot of scenarios that I can say that like wow, like why is it like she sounds like she's like whining all the time. And Graya's mew, right? Like what like Eileen and Ling is describing, like this like squeaky, right? Every morning she whines as if like tomorrow never comes. She's better than my alarm clock. So at 7 o'clock sharp, she will mew and let's make sure that I'm like, like you just awake that moment, right? She catch that moment of frequency that she like, I just open my eyes and I'm awake, and then she like meow, meow, meow. Like she just goes on. So what I got from this this description that got from this healing portion, this instant healing, is that there are a lot of times that she just want to express herself, and for me it's like I'm a solution-based person. So what's wrong? What's happening? Can I help you? What do you need? Like, you want food? You want me to clear your poop? You want me to what do you want? Like, tell me, what do you want? Then sometimes I always go to her and tell her like, is it something I didn't do? like is there something I missed out? Like what is it? So it's quite interesting to hear that I just need to like, okay, I hear you. Which sometimes I just need to let it go and just say, okay, yeah, you're just talking.
I can imagine Grace like, woman, I'm trying to speak to you. Stop trying to play with me, please.
And also another interesting thing that I resonate is like so I've now been more sensitive about my own energy, because a lot of times where I'm like frustrated with her because I don't know what's wrong, and she goes on. We ever had an argument, just quite recently, 2 hours. She non-stop.
Argument.
I was like, what? I was watching like Netflix. Then I was like, 2 hours. She non-stop. She just go on. So I'm like, the door is open. You can go out wherever you want. Like everything is like okay, like everything's okay. Then she just went non-stop 2 hours. So I don't know what's wrong. So now it's saying that maybe my own hidden insecurities. Maybe I'm just having a distraction. I just want to watch Netflix and just like have a chill night. So, sometimes I think those kind of energies will surface and I don't even realize myself, and it's just a reflection of what my feelings are. So I think that part is like I've been more conscious about my feelings already. Like I've been more conscious about how my energy is. which a lot of times I think it reflects 100%. Like I can't blame her, right? I only can sort of blame myself. Refuse to blame myself, but okay, sort of blame myself and say that, oh yeah, okay, it's me. Okay, what do I have that I'm not talking about it. I'm like distracting. I can't even go home and then just be like distracted. You have to like deal with one reflection, like immediate reflection. I'm like,
Maybe
so I before like this whole conversation about it, I did want to have like a communicator because I feel like there are moments where I don't know what she needs, I don't know what else I can do, and I just want to hear her, like how, like what is she happy, like, because sometimes I feel like maybe she's not, like maybe it's something that I'm stopping her, or maybe she just want to be, I don't know, I have no idea. So yeah, yeah. So I am very conscious of my feelings and my emotions my energies right now.
so. Fiona, maybe you're watching Netflix for 2 hours, right? Maybe she's like, listen to me, stop watching Netflix, please. Squid Game is passé. Well, Tia, what do you think about this whole sort of like human trying to understand pet trying to understand human scenario?
I think the pets are very misunderstood. Yeah, but they understand us perfectly well.
Oh.
Yeah, because they can feel our emotions, they can like read our minds, but we can't do the same for them.
So
Yeah,
how
so
can we
actually a lot of times,
so how can we like improve on that?
actually it's really to quiet down your mind and try to connect with them and have the heart-to-heart connection with them. And a lot of times they're actually there to try to get you to really quiet down the mind and be in the present moment. Yeah. So that's one of the lessons that they are here to teach us as well. Yeah,
Okay,
and also they do pick up a lot on our emotions, especially our stress. So like when I talk to them, I can feel that the pet is stressed, but what can they possibly be stressed about unless there's major changes in their life? So a lot of times, right, if you do a check back on the owner, it's the owner that's feeling the stress.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fiona, you had a question?
Yeah, so like how to tell them that my stress you cannot solve leh?
Maybe you shouldn't be telling them that.
I don't even tell them that. I just like thinking, my own mind. I'm thinking, I bring my own like thoughts to myself, but I'm not trying to tell them that. It's like how do we keep space?
Can you imagine Fiona tell Grey, your stress, my stress you cannot solve. Then Grey, oh my god, I'm very stressed now. I'm so stressed.
Greya feels worthless. She cannot do anything, but she feels it anyway.
You mean I cannot even help you?
That's so funny. But yeah, there's no way you can actually stop them from taking on your emotions. So the only way is to manage your own emotions well. That's the only way you can take good care of them. And also for cats, they don't get to go out. So really energy works will help in terms of helping them to cleanse the energy. For dogs, you can actually bring them out for walks more often so that they can, because they do take on the energy regardless whether or not you want them to. So by bringing them out for walks, they can actually ground and release the energies. Yeah.
Does that mean my cat is crazy?
No, I don't think your cat is crazy.
Your cat takes on your energy though, so I'm not sure.
I think your cat might be.
I mean, the hair really looks like mine, right? Like all puffy and sticking out.
Who's the cat?
I suspect you may need some sessions because the cat might take on your crazy energy.
Yeah.
Maybe in future you might see the cat mind back to you.
Oh my god, that's a dream, man.
Well, just for context, Cheryl's cat is deaf, so she used sign language to try.
I try lah, I try to make it obvious lah. Like the food, I will wave the whole bowl in front of her face, bring it, put on the food mat, then gesture at it, then make like the ooh, so tasty kind of sign.
Yeah. Cheryl, how do you tell her to poop it properly or like encourage her to poop?
Oh, she needs no encouragement. She's a poop machine, man. She poops like 3, 4, 5 times a day sometimes.
I was hoping to see you mime,
Never shake her.
You poop in front of her. That's how you
In
do
her
it.
kitty litter, correct?
Then you dig the tray.
I have question. So okay, dogs, cats, you can also communicate with hamsters, gerbils, any animals lah, basically.
Any animals.
Elephant, tiger,
Yeah.
zebra.
Birds.
But yes, fishes.
Are you able to tell like the birds, like pigeons, not to like keep grow
Fiona,
like?
you very mafan eh.
Is it possible? Like if pigeons really can communicate, what do they know?
Bird brain.
It's very hard to tell them, to do something or not to do something because they have their own free will and a mind of their own. Yeah, especially for wild animals, it's very different from domesticated. Yeah.
What do birds say?
For domesticated pets, they have their likes and dislikes as well. And they have their complaints and they have their requests also. Yeah. So if they have a partner, they sometimes complain about the partner. Yeah.
Okay. And are the complaints?
You mean which partners? The birds partners, the lovebird partners, or
Yeah.
Oh.
If they stay with another fur mate, they do complain about each other.
Oh my god.
Oh. It's like husband and wife arguing lah.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why is it so cute?
I have a question. Do they ever tell you secrets about their humans?
I
Don't
ask them.
Oh. Okay.
But they do sometimes bow to the owner. Like example, the owner will ask them to, can you eat your supplement? Can you eat your veggie? Then the furkid will be saying, but you yourself don't eat. Why should I?
Oh my god, so catty.
You got to set a good example lah.
Wow.
Okay, so
It's a fur clap back.
So here's a question, right? Like, you have done this for quite a lot of pets, right? What is the general misconception that maybe you face when it comes to communicating with animals?
Misconception. I think a lot of times people go to AC to actually, they want to tell their pets to do certain things, to behave a certain way.
Like Fiona.
I say first, guilty.
Yeah, so I mean, it's not so much of telling them what to do or how to behave, but rather to help the owner understand why they behave that way. And if possible, try to come to a neutral ground, meet each other halfway. But sometimes they are like children. You can tell them to do something, but whether or not they want to listen, you can't control.
That's true.
But if you understand where they are coming from, then you can try to solve the issue rather than just telling that, hey, you can't do this, you can't do that. I mean, like if your mother tell you not to do this, not to do that, sometimes you also don't listen to them, right?
Yeah. Not sometimes, always.
Yeah, so how can we expect our kid to? Yeah, correct. We can expect that from our kid as well. So.
And what are some of the more common issues that people have with their pets besides disobedience, so to speak?
Common issues.
Okay.
There's not really a common issues, but the common question they ask usually is what's their likes and dislikes. Issues could be behavior issues, if they have multiple furkids, they don't get along with each other. Peeing issue. Yeah, that's one. Yeah, correct. And some of them, they do have anxiety issues. So these are the more common issues.
Okay. This is a very big question. Fiona, you have a question? You ask first.
Yeah, you go first.
These are very big, the questions. You sure or not?
Okay. I better write down.
Do animals or pets, how to say, have some sort of life purpose?
They do.
Wow.
Yes, they do.
What are they, if any? I mean, I think it's different from pet to pet, but what have you seen so far?
Okay. Same for humans. Everybody come into our lives for a reason. Similarly for pets as well. So the first big major purpose of the course, I feel, is to help us to become a better person, to teach us about unconditional love. So it varies from pet to pet. Some can be there to teach you about patience. Yeah. Also to accept and love them for who they are. Some actually come to help their owners on their spiritual journey. Yeah, some they come to help them heal. And I think one of the biggest lesson and gift that they give to us is actually a lesson to how to let go
Wow, this one is a big one. Really.
and how to cope with grief. And also one of the biggest lesson is really about regret.
Oh.
Yes, because
Really?
I think all types of feels.
Can
yes,
you elaborate more about the regrets part?
regrets would be, I've done a lot of sessions where owners have so many regrets when it comes to their fur kids, especially for those that have already passed on. Yeah, so there will come a day where they will go. They will have to go. And when that day comes, what should you do? And from now till that day, what are you going to do? Right. So if you make every day a meaningful and fulfilling one for them and for yourself, so when the day comes for you to say goodbye, you can actually give them your blessing and you won't have regrets. So okay, example for if you have a fur kid that's very sick and some of them, they don't know whether to put them to sleep or to let them go on their own. Yeah, so if they do not know what the pet wants and then they make the decision for them, they may regret. Yeah, and some is like, okay, they try to prolong the life of the kid. Okay, they control their diet because they're not supposed to eat this, not supposed to eat that. And then the day comes when the pet actually, lose all appetite. You want to give them roast chicken, they also don't want to eat. And then you start to regret, I should have given him that earlier. Yeah.
Ayo.
You hit a link's string because Mira is she has congenital heart and lung issue, and in the beginning when because the doctors say either let her go or let her be on meds, and we had this like struggle. So my high functioning mother thinking is like, maybe she gets to go on to the next life, but then now we have evolved to a point whereby maybe she should choose, because if she wants to continue living and trying to just enjoy her time in life, we shouldn't be depriving her of that as well. So it's like a conundrum.
So we've had a couple of episodes, right, where Mira just her small little body starts convulsing, and she's breathing very hard, and both of us just look at each other, and obviously she's high functioning. I'm always crying in all situations, and we both look at each other, and she's ready to call hey, let's call the pet funeral people. And for me, I'm like, please try to save her in some way first before we call them. And I think over time, we monitor her and she looks like she wants to live. So I'm glad we didn't make a premature decision for her, but really see and take it as we go along. And she's gotten happier, healthier, energy healing and all that. So,
and also I'm quite grateful because she's now feeling joyful and interested in the world. She actually came to our room and did biscuits and
kneading
meatballs that we are like, okay, thank you, ouch.
Give God.
So then for me, I also learned that every day I just play with her. She want to play. She looked like she cannot breathe properly. She still want to play. Okay lah, play because I rather her last moment was joy if there was any. Cheryl want to cry now.
See, that's the lesson. That's a purpose in coming into your life.
Before Mira came, right? We had so many lessons. We were saying that before that, when we do healing for Mira, I wasn't very confident until I realized I was like, actually, there's nothing to lose. Especially, okay, put it very realistically, she may pass on anytime. So might as well try our best, right? So it got me more confident with my healing as well.
Joanna, you had a question? After listening to this, you don't want to ask already right now. Just kidding.
Oh my god, I'm sad already. Like to think of like when they're gonna like go on, I'm like, 不要啦，长命百岁，万岁万岁万万岁。
You want play Mira for what?
Later she outlive you.
She'll grow a little cat goatee.
Okay, my question is more close to heart. Like, it's been what I'm seeing on like social media recently. Like, if animals were abused, right? Would you think you're able to pick it up? Like if there's an emergency case, right? You know, like game you can play, then suddenly got some sound from somewhere. Then is it possible that there is something like that will like picture and then it will pop up this emergency light that we need to go and rescue or something? Like, are we able, like, if we learn like in maybe some form of like communication, are we able to like hear those kind of emergency cases?
Unless you are really in a very meditative state all the time. Yeah, if not, it will be quite impossible, especially if you don't know the dog, like you don't know that dog before or that pet before. Yeah, because for you to be able to hear them, you need to be in an alpha state of mind, where your mind is in a non-arousal state, and you can actually tune in and receive messages from them. So most of the time, our minds are very busy. Yeah, so it will be very hard for you to, just, get these messages that's floating in the air, like if they're crying out for help. Yeah, it's very hard, to be honest.
Fiona wants to be an animal saver. Is that such a role? Animal saver of the world, basically. That's her ambition. That's why she's wondering whether that can be done.
Yeah, like you walk past, right, and then suddenly you see this dog, and then like, then you're like, hey, you on.
Fiona also wants to be the murderer of all the animal abusers in the
Oh
world.
yeah.
Effectively, yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah.
I support you.
Judge it.
I have a question with regards to the different types of animals. So what's the difference? I mean, we are talking about pets, like what is the difference in terms of communication or voices when it comes to dogs, cats, hamsters, fish, birds? Like, do they speak very differently?
In terms of, okay, because when you do animal communication, right, it's not so much about how the pet actually speak or how the animal actually speak, but your own senses. What do you pick up? Some people who are more visual, they see more images, and then you have to, from the image, interpret what you're getting. Or you get a sense of feeling. Or some, you actually have words popping into your head, and then you think you're mental, like you're talking to yourself. Yeah, so, but in general, dogs, they tend to be more chatty.
Okay.
Yeah, correct. Compared to like the smaller animals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe bigger brain. I don't know. Sorry, hamster owners.
You're very bad, leh.
I mean, if you're a fish, how much like vocabulary would you have?
But it's also because they have less interaction with humans, so they don't pick so much of our brain of what we're thinking.
Then cats are less chatty lah. They want to do their own thing lah.
Not say they want to do their own thing lah, but seriously, when they talk, some of them is maybe a bit more attitude compared to
Actually, I got a question. Like,
a bit more
animals ever not wanting to talk to you before? Like, they just refuse to talk to you. Like, you know how people got attitude, right? If you go girls' school, surely you got a lot of people lah.
What girls' school?
Wow.
Yeah,
Surely got a lot of attitude, right? So like, do people actually want to the animals do have that kind of like don't want to talk kind?
No, so far I haven't had one that outright tell me I don't want to talk to you. But there are some who are really, animals of very few words. So they don't really talk unless you ask a question. And then when they reply, it may be just like, a very 1 word, 2 word kind of answer.
So
Like owners like that also.
Let's not sabo the feeling.
I'm just trying to draw a correlation.
Question: what do hamsters want?
More food.
Not
Get
all
out the hamster wheel.
Yeah, not all hamster
run
want
the wheel.
Some actually want to be left alone.
Some want to be left alone.
They
Because
find
maybe-
humans a bit too in the face, a bit too cajole them, try to ask them to play, but they just want to, be on their
Be a
own.
hamster.
Yeah, there are hamsters like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And what about rabbits? What do rabbits want?
Different rabbits want different things. Like some they want more attention, want more playtime, want different type of hay, different type of food, want more food. Some wants some wants to be left alone.
Like quite basic needs. They really sound like humans.
Yeah, actually, I think we are the problem. It's like people don't want to play, then you keep picking them up, and then you're like, oh my god, so cute, so cute, Then they're like, oh, I cannot breathe, help me.
Are you projecting now?
No, I'm not. Claire has a question. Claire is asking, for dogs who had traumatic experiences, is there a point to ask them about it, like what happened?
You can ask them about it, but it may not solve the issue.
So what can they do?
It depends on the issue. Some that's very deep-rooted energy healing can help, but it does take a long, long time. Yeah, it's not like something that it can be resolved over one session. It's like, when you have a trauma yourself, you go to see a psychiatrist or counselor. You talk for one session, the trauma is still there. And some trauma, they are brought over from their birth mothers, and some is from past life. So these are really deep-rooted that you really take a long time to resolve, and some may not resolve really eventually. So it's about learning to accept them for who they are, to embrace their experiences as well.
I have a question for let's say you have a cat or a dog or a pet, whatever, right? And you are the main sort of like owner, but you live in a household, and sometimes your family projects different things onto the pet, or they treat I haven't had this experience where I used to have a Jack Russell, so I trained the Jack Russell, my parents untrained, so every day I train until I vomit all my blood and just cannot take it anymore. So like how can an animal communicator come in to help the pet or even the family to like stabilize or something like that? I don't know.
Cannot help like this one, cannot help like this one. It's with a human there.
All the humans should go for energy healing.
Have to train the humans, not the pet. Yeah. And they will know who to bully one. Like
exactly.
Yeah, they will know who to bully.
Oh my god, it's me.
So last time, right, I had a Jack Russell, and when I'm around the Jack Russell, it's best behavior, right? The moment I leave the house, right, the sofa, right, as if he owns the sofa, then my dad will go and sit somewhere else. I'm like, your sofa or the never mind. So they really know who they can bully and who they should like listen to.
Yes, and they will know when you're lying and when you're trying to bluff them.
Oh no!
Is it?
They know. So okay, I've got this client. So basically, the rabbit always bite the husband.
Okay.
So until the husband so big chick, so frustrated, so pissed off, threatened that he's gonna give away the rabbit. So the wife like, oh, bopian already, I must do something. So we did a session, and then we try. At first, we try to be nice. We try to bribe. We try to negotiate with the rabbit. Like very stubborn boy. Doesn't want to listen. So bopian. End up we have to threaten. Last resort already. So the rabbit absolutely hates boarding. So the mother say, okay, if you bite again, right, I send you for boarding for 3 days.
Punishment.
Oh my god.
You know what the rabbit say? 3 days only, what? No big deal. Come back. 又是一条好汉.
Whose rabbit is this? I want to see.
Bugs Bunny.
Wow, brave.
So the mother say, okay, send him for boarding for 2 weeks.
Wow.
Wow, right. Then the rabbit say, my mommy don't bear 2 one.
Wow.
Yeah, which is true. The mommy admits it, I really don't bear 2 lah. So, but at the end of the day, I told the mommy, if you cannot set your mind to do it and follow through, then it's not going to work. Your rabbit knows. Yeah, the trend is not going to work. So it must be something that, you can follow through and you really, really will do it. Because if not, they will know it. So, okay, the mother really set the mind to do it.
Okay.
The rabbit stopped biting the husband.
Wow.
Yeah, but it must really be something that you will follow through. If not, they know. You can't love them one.
I wanted to say rabbit 1, human 0, but human did it at the end, right?
Yeah.
Oh
they came to a compromise lah.
There's no compromise. This is really funny. Claire says, thanks, Tia. Asking because my dog went missing a few years ago and he came back by himself. What happened? No one knows. Oh, so I guess Claire is trying to ask, like, if there's a point in asking the dog what happened during the time when he went missing.
So did the temperament change or?
Yeah, so Claire, did the temperament change? Did the dog's temperament change? That's interesting. Okay, so what are some of the more interesting stories maybe that you've encountered during your work of being an animal communicator?
A lot actually. So, okay, maybe one thing I would like to share is really, if possible, for owners to actually respect the free will of their pets. So, because we are the caregiver, they can't speak for themselves, whatever decision it's we make for them. But they do have a mind of their own, They do know what they want, especially when it comes to the end stage. Yeah, whether or not to let them go on their own or to actually put them to sleep. I think this is something they should have a say in.
I agree. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good one. I have this. Okay, so on Facebook there is this. I don't know how to pronounce your name, and I'm very sorry. It's Silent X. This wonderful person say, Kia should tell them my bottomless pit kamcha dog, never ending ranking. Everything also food only.
Hey, these are the best dogs, seriously.
Why?
Wait till you meet one that's fussy, you hate it. Every day must change menu, you die, I tell you. Really, you have a tamcha dog, it's really very lucky.
Yeah, Claire says now he's back to normal. He was fearful of walks for a few days and he smelled like fish. Just a few scratches on his legs.
Okay, then probably not too big of a trauma, because usually if there's a big trauma, then they may change in terms of their temperament. Yeah, so okay, back to the free will. So I have actually quite a few interesting stories to share. So okay, there's this dog that couldn't walk for 2 weeks. So she has cancer and then she started to have seizure. So because cannot stand up and walk, can't even stand up. So the owner was thinking to actually put to sleep to end the suffering. So they actually booked the vet appointment already. So the session is actually just to inform her of the decision. She wasn't ready to go, so she was asking for more time. So the owner actually tried to push back the appointment since she asked for more time, but push back by 2 days. So I told her she only have like 2 days. Either she showed them that she really wants to carry on, or if not within this time frame, she has to go on her own if she's ready. So 2 days later, before the vet appointment, she actually stood up and walked.
Wow.
Yeah, and then she went on for quite a few months, like maybe close to a year before she passed on. Yeah, so there was another case where, okay, the dog was very ill already, so the owner wanted to actually put him to sleep. So, the owner wanted to put him to sleep if he really, end up suffering a lot. So, but he was very adamant about going on his own. He actually said, my mommy won't have the chance to do that. So I was like wondering, okay, why he say that? What will he do? So I think about 1 week later after the first session, right? The mommy texted and said that, his condition gotten worse. So she actually called for the vet to come that afternoon to actually put him to sleep. So I told the dog about the decision. So when the vet was on the way, he left on his own. Yeah.
Oh wow! So he wants to choose to do it on his own rather than.
Yeah.
All these stories
really
about like passing
I know.
So sad. But it's really, we should respect what they want.
Amelia is here. Amelia.
Hi, Amelia.
Hi, Ami.
Hello.
Okay, so now that Amelia is here, I can put both of you in the highlight because, oh my God, okay. I wanted to ask about pet transition. So when a pet passes away, like what happens? Like, do they stay with you? You know, like what are some of the maybe things or stories that you guys can like share?
Okay. I think for me, most of the time, my clients approach me to work on a pet passing in two cases. One is the pet suddenly passes, and then my client is distraught because they cannot deal with it emotionally. Then they wanted me to like see if they can get any messages and also to convey some messages. So so one of the and then the second case is like when they feel like their pet is actually suffering and needing to go, but is attached to like something or somebody, and then in which case they would ask me to come and do like a healing so that they can transition like properly. So far, most of my clients approach me for these two cases. So one interesting case I think I had like was I had a client who had like 3 cats in the house. Okay? And then 2 of the cats were actually always like fighting and bickering like with each other. Okay, another cat was like always very like calm. Okay? Then the 2 cats that were always bickering, one of them actually had like cancer and was about to pass on. But it kind of like dragged on for like weeks, and the owner was feeling like very frustrated and sad for her cat because she felt like the cat needed to go, but something was like holding the cat back. So she brought me in to do like the transition, and then when I went on the cat, I realized that even though like the 2 cats were always bickering all the time, but they had a very deep like attachment to each other. So the cat that was actually very ill and needed to pass on was unable to pass on because they have not resolved like the emotions, and also the remaining cat had some attachment to this cat. So there's a push and pull factor.
Oh,
After I did like the cord cutting between the 2 cats and working on resolution and helping them to come to peace with the transition, then everything and then naturally I think 3 hours later the cat just peacefully passed away. Yeah. And so like the owner said, oh okay, like she was like so grateful because she said that she's very in tune with her cat, and she said she could feel like the cat was like suffering, but she also didn't know like what to do. So that was actually quite interesting. And because it was like an emergency, I did it kind of via remote, so I didn't need to go down like to the house or anything, because she approached me like really like as like an emergency, like urgent case. Yeah. So I think that was one of the most interesting one, because I didn't realize that I know like sometimes owners have attachment to their pets and pets have attachment to owners, but that was the first time I witnessed like between the cats they also have attachments.
Jalak like that, I have attachment with Cheryl and Fiona and Lynn because I always bicker with them.
Cord cutting.
With regards to that, someone said that my deceased pet came back for about 1 week. She continued to eat her favorite treats, and all the treats are dropped everywhere when we put beside her urn. Ooh, that's interesting. Tia, do you have like experience with this? Do you have a story or something that you want to share?
Actually, a lot of times those that pass on, they do hang around for some time before moving on. Yeah, they do hang around. So I have clients, they actually captured on like CCTV. That's like a light orb that was dashing across the house. Yeah, so and then another client where she has this sensor night light. So every night the dog will go toilet when it was still alive. The dog will go toilet and then the light will light up. And then after the dog passed on, the light still light up at about the same time that it always went toilet. Yeah.
So Tia, do you help them to go to the light, like after if the humans come for to request for that?
yes, I do. I do help them, and also I do notice, like say for pets that's very attached to the owner, and the owner that's very attached to them, it's much harder for them to cross over. Yeah, because when they go, they worry a lot for the owners.
So is the ideal scenario? Let's say I'm a owner and then my pet pass. Is it ideal scenario is to, I don't know, energetically tell them that it's okay to go into the light and go.
And then like let them go like on our end to just make peace with that like release attachment.
Yeah.
But you have to really feel it in your heart and not just say it verbally.
Yeah.
You can tell them verbally, I give you permission to go. It's okay to go. I'll be okay. But what they feel is inside. You know, if inside you are not okay, they know it, and then they will still worry, and then they will still try to hold on.
Yeah, then must call Amelia. Hey, cut costs.
Yeah.
I found like something that was quite like interesting was that I noticed that like with some of there is a difference also in the pets and how spiritual like they are. So for example, one of my friend who's like a healer has a cat, and the cat is almost like human, like sometimes okay, it can be freaky sometimes because like the way the cat behaves and all is almost like a human, and that cat died of old age. So when the cat was like really really old and was like going like to pass, then my friend actually felt like she needed to do something like for the cat. It's like even though she knows like okay the cat is old and the cat is ready to pass, but she just said she had this nagging feeling she needed to do something. So she asked me what can we do, and is there a possibility to do a healing to find out like what like how we can help like this cat. Okay, and this is actually the only time that I had come across this case, because thereafter whenever I work on people's like pets and all, I never came across something like that. Because when I tuned into the thing, right, then the word portal came to me. Okay. So I think that maybe it's because my friend is also a healer. So the cat is also highly spiritual. So the cat is actually looking to like evolve, but I don't know evolve into what. Okay, but the instruction was to like open a portal for the cat so that the cat can leave. Okay?
What?
Yeah, and then it's very particular one, because it's like it cannot be like I open a portal. It's like I must work with the owner, which is like my friend, and to sort of open a portal. So we basically like came up with this like little ritual and ceremony using like singing bowls and crystals, and then for some weird reason we also don't know like how we managed to know what it is that we're supposed to do, but I think it was channeled message. And that point in time I was very new in my healing like career, so I think I was only like doing it for maybe 1.5 years. And then so it was a bit like, it's really interesting, but it's also a bit like freaky, because you can really like feel like a lot of like energies like coming in, and then when I saw like this ball of light like exploding, and my friend said she saw like something similar, and then 1 hour after we finished like the ritual, like the cat actually just passed, so it was like really really like, okay, it's like half freaky because I was very new like then, right? Then it's like half freaky. It's like, oh, really? Like, did the ritual like that we did really open a portal, and then the cat like peacefully passed, and then and the way the cat passed was because it's old age, right? Was literally like it just went to sleep, and that's it. So that was like a really freaky like kind of like thing, but thereafter, whenever I did like pet healing, even like when I was helping like pets to like transition, I never ever like kind of came across another instance like that. Yeah.
Wow, this cat damn daisai, Wow, ask humans to come open one portal.
Must have one whole ritual, then must explode, like into the light.
The light explosion
Confetti.
is like maybe the portal like opening or something.
Must be
Then I was like,
performative.
okay, but unfortunately, right? Okay, because I guess at the point that I wasn't experienced like enough, I'm very curious. Like, so opening the portal, what does the cat evolve into, and where did the cat go?
Oh, that's interesting.
You know,
Yeah.
and then I'm like guessing. Okay, maybe is it that it become like a cat spirit? I don't know.
A human? Is
The
it
cat
possible
died.
for cat to
Yeah.
become human?
I could be. I don't know. Tia, what do you think? Like,
They do get reincarnated. And there are cases where actually humans become pets as well.
Oh, is that like
Yeah.
reverse? Or is that like progression? Do we progress into cats?
I think it's possible. Sometimes I feel that Ling is like my pet.
Well,
kidding.
now let's talk about that.
Okay, but yeah, they do reincarnate into other things lah.
Yeah, they do. I have a client, his Karen cat, it's actually his daughter in his past life.
wow.
What?
Human daughter.
Okay, why would human daughter want to be cat?
Can meow.
For them, it's some sort of like a karma contract. Yeah. So
Okay.
at soul level, we actually agreed to experience whatever we want to experience in this current lifetime. Yes. So for him, it was very interesting. He actually told me about his dream after he was asking about the past life connection with his cat. So what I got from the cat was that she was his daughter in a previous lifetime. And the image she showed me was actually just him and her. Like there wasn't any mother figure around.
Oh.
So yeah, it was very interesting. So he actually shared with me that when he was a young boy, he actually often dreamed of him and his daughter walking along the beach. So that was the exact same image that the cat showed me. And there wasn't any mother around. So he had that dream since when he was a young boy. I mean, it's weird for a young boy to dream that he has a daughter, but the dream kept coming to him. So eventually this cat came to him.
Oh, that's so interesting. Hey, can I just say something very quickly? So in Chinese culture, right? We always say that your like for men, his daughter is his past life lover.
Past life.
Yeah, right.
Oh God.
So is that the first life they were lovers, then the second life become the daughter, then the third life become the cat.
Maybe there's some pets, they behave like they are your lover. They get jealous when
Yeah,
your
yeah,
partner
yeah.
tries to
Yeah.
And there are some pets that actually tell me that the actual husband or the wife is the 小三. They are the two. They're the number one. They feel that way, they do.
Oh my
Oh,
And they behave that way also.
Thank you.
Yeah, very cute.
Yeah. Someone is also asking, hi all, should I ask my dog if he wants to be sterilized? But then dog sure say no one, right? Like no one wants to get sterilized. They have to get sterilized, but they don't want.
If you feel that it's good for them, then okay, go ahead. But you should inform them.
Oh, I
You should tell
can't
them
wait to
before the procedure or the surgery, because some of them, they actually do wake up from GE in shock from the pain, and their temperament do change after that.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So by the way, we're going to the vet now. You are going to lose some feeling in your down there, but
Your down there will never be the same, but it's okay. We still love you.
It's like you gotta explain to them it's for their own good why you need to do it. But of course they will protest lah.
yeah.
Oh, they will protest.
They will
Okay. So they're asking. Sin is saying that the dog will ask, "Is it painful? Got treats or not?" Apparently, she seems very experienced. And then Indra is saying how to inform them.
You can do it through AC, like communicator, or if not, you can try to tell them verbally and see if they can understand. Yeah, but it's always good to tell them, and especially also like when there's changes at home, when you're moving house, or if you're going overseas and the dog is going boarding. There are some dogs who actually escape from the border and try to find their way home. Yeah, or then if you have a new addition, like you have a new baby coming, it's always good to let them know and to explain to them.
So actually, it does make sense to sort of like communicate to your pet about changes at home. Like what's going on. Like we're going out now. We're going to the park. here's a car, that kind of thing. So they
This
sort of
was,
understand.
yeah, correct. And another thing that you should also, let them know is if there's a breakup, like if there's a divorce, and then change. Yeah.
I imagine it to be like super shocking, because different environment and everything.
Correct. It gets very
Traumatic.
confusing for them, and it's very stressful as well. And plus, they take on our energies, they
Yeah.
take on our emotions, so it's very stressful and confusing for them.
It's like a little bit more complicated than children. Like, I don't know. I'm just...
Yeah, correct. Because children, they don't tend to take on that much unless you tell them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a cat question. Hey, if you all have questions, you can ask. Okay, Facebook people also. If I want to get a new cat, for example, adopt another kitten. Okay?
Please ask the current one before you get.
Okay. But if the current one says no, I don't want. I want to, be the only cat. Then we respect their wishes. Is that what you're saying?
You're gonna break my heart.
Hopefully you
Aww.
respect. If you don't, then you face the consequences.
Oh,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, correct. Because there are some that really prefer to be on their own, but there are some that they like companion.
So it depends on their personality and sociability. Yeah. Then do we get our cats to choose the new friend?
You bring the cat there to choose?
You can.
Yeah, I
You
think
can let
I
them
think it would be
choose.
nice if you go together.
Correct.
Right.
Because they will be the one who's spending most of the time with the other person, the other pet, not you.
Meal 2 times.
Yeah, correct.
Like a speed
meal
dating
1
round.
time.
I'm curious here. So it's like if you ask your pets question, how do you know whether it's them answering you or you yourself answering yourself and then making yourself feel shocked?
It's very, very hard to tell the difference, right? Because you will really feel that it's your own imagination, and then you think that you're mentally talking to yourself. The only way is to really trust that it's coming from them. And this takes practice. So it would be good if you practice on your friends' pets, and then you get validation from them, and then you get more confident. Because with your own, you know them so well, you think that it's your own imagination. You're talking to yourself because you know them already.
Cheryl, come. Talk to Maya and Mira. They are quite
They're very vocal now.
They're very vocal now.
Yeah.
So interesting. Should I inform him the day before the surgery or slowly tell them from the day? Today you go on the 21st of November. Then the next day you say we are going to. Tia,
Then
what's
must
your
show the
opinion?
calendar, then you count down day by day with them. 3 more days. 2 more days.
What stress like that? Imagine you're the one going for the surgery.
Then on the day,
Yeah. For
on
me,
the day you show the knife.
Mila, please.
I would suggest like maybe 2 days in advance. Yeah, at least they don't have to go through the fear and the stress for so many days, but at least they still get a bit of time for mental preparation. So I have this client supposed to go for dental. So we scheduled the session like 2 days before the dental. Then the dog really so angry, so upset, protest, but popping because dental you really need it. So the mommy was saying, the daddy insists not her, so-called not her fault.
Ayo.
Sabo the daddy, right?
Blame the father.
Then the dog, are you so cute? The dog said, I'm going to ignore daddy.
Oh.
Then really that night, ignore daddy. Like, no matter how the daddy call, refuse to go. So when you tell them too early in advance, then they may start to, true pattern, very early in advance.
Build resentment,
Yeah. So like 2 days should be a good time frame for them to actually prep themselves for it.
Okay, so
I think that, sorry, I just a quick one on that. No, I think sometimes it's also because I was looking at Josephine and she's asking about, have you ever had pets that lie to you and how you deal with it? And actually, pets sometimes do not know better. Okay, it's a bit like a child. So I also think that there needs to be a balance when it comes to like what is it that you want to do with a pet. So going along with a pet sleep sometimes may not necessarily be the best idea. So I do feel that you need to kind of balance it. So for example, it's like if you want to for example, if you want to bring the pet for something and the pet has obvious fear, I think the real thing or the best thing actually to do is to find out why they have that fear. I mean, yes, of course surgery is painful, etc., but more than the pain sometimes it could be like they don't really understand what's going to be done to them. Okay.
Mm.
Or maybe they had some trauma around it like before, you know. Yeah, so like for example, especially things like dental and everything, there are some pets whereby they had some trauma. Let's say they went for one dental and they won't handle it properly, and then therefore there's a problem. So instead of like pushing blame or whatever, it's better actually to maybe go to animal healer or animal communicator so that you can help to address the problem at its root. Then you don't actually then you won't actually be able to, then you actually don't have to like sort of like have to coax them and etc. Because I have one client whereby they went to animal communicator and knew like like her cat, or no, her dog, sorry, was like very like sort of like scared of like certain things. So to coax the dog like to do the thing, she keeps giving him like treats, you know. But in the
Aiyo.
end, actually, it was like more harmful because the dog put on so much weight that the vet actually said, no, now you got to only put like him on healthy food because it's going to lead to more like disease and problems, you know. So I think this is like something that we have to balance. I think it's good to treat them like with respect, but also like to balance, like, okay, I'm not going to do everything your way, but I'm going to try to find how it is I can communicate with you and resolve your issues so that you feel like good, you know. And I mean, like the one about asking like the pet like before you bring in another cat, right? The interesting thing is that, right, I mean, I have a client who did that with a cat. Okay, so her existing cats were very okay with bringing in a new cat, but when the new cat came in, it was a new cat. They didn't get along with like the rest of people. Okay, so again, I think if that happens, maybe it's about finding out what happened. There must be some kind of trauma. That's why the cat is antisocial or whatever, you know. And then therefore, maybe it's like good to then if you know you resolve the issue, they can actually be more united, which was actually the case because I think it was a rescue cat. Because I think the reality is that sometimes if you are dealing with fostering or like rescue cat, you can't really bring your cat to go and choose which cat do you want to rescue, which cat do you want to foster.
This one you like, this one don't like. Okay, let them go.
Yeah, it's like, I think that's bad. I think it's like, personally, I think so. I feel that maybe it's about like teaching your cat or dog, like, hey, please get along. Then find out why you don't get along. Because sometimes the problem is you. You know, I have one client whereby she likes to foster like cats. Then every time she foster a cat, her own cat will like be very agitated. Okay. Then when we went to look at what's the problem, we realized that, you know what, she is an overgiver. Okay, so the moment the foster cat comes, she will like, wow, give so much attention. Then of course her own cat will be upset, right? It's a bit like thinking, wow, you know, now you have a new like cat, then you are like not so like you're not so sort of like connected like with me, and you're giving all your attention there. Then of course the cat like is not happy. So again, like we tell her, okay, you just need to balance, because then, you know, or try to like let them play together, you know, and like try not to show favoritism as her. Then she said, yeah, but it's very difficult because, you know, the foster cat is so poor thing, and then my cat is like, you know, so fortunate, like, you know, shiny fur, etc. Then the new cat, I said, yeah, but then, you know.
Children are also like that, what? You know, like you don't favor your own children, then you say the other one's so good, that kind of thing.
Don't say children. Human being adults are also like that. Susan is asking, if a pet has dementia, is it still possible to communicate?
For me, if a pet has dementia, usually I try to communicate with their higher self.
The higher conscious.
Okay, so Susan can. Taylor say, will pets know that their time is up? I thought they choose. I mean, of course you already, right? Then, you know, but will pets know that their time is up?
Like, is there like an angel hanging nearby that tells them like come and collect their soul, you know?
No, they don't exactly know when their time is up. Yeah, some of them. Yeah, I just had one session yesterday. the dog passed away halfway through the session.
Oh no.
And he completely didn't know that he was going to go.
Oh, so did the
Yeah.
session change into transition session or something?
It was, so I had to help him because he was in a shock. Yeah, he couldn't accept it, and then the soul actually kept trying to go back to the body, but it couldn't.
Oh.
Mm.
Yeah. They may know when they're very sick that their time may be coming soon, but they wouldn't know like exactly how many days later, or a few months time. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question. So that day I was just debating with Ling, right? So I feel that Mira doesn't care that she's sick. She's just doing her cat thing. So Ling say, I say if we had to, if we booked here, like, and we wanted her to communicate with Mira, what would we ask, basically? And then Ling say, maybe we can ask, is she okay or not? Then I'm like, no. What if she doesn't think that she's sick? And then you alerted her to the fact that she's sick, and then now she's like, oh, is there something wrong with me? So Tia, like, what do you think of this kind of scenario?
Unless it's really affecting her current quality of life, if not, just let her be happy, I feel. Because there's quite a few cases that I've seen after the pet knows that they are sick, or after, medical intervention, they actually went downhill even faster. Especially for cancer cases.
Yeah.
So like what I've been doing with Mira is that like I just tell her, when she runs too fast, right, then she like I tell her, I say it's okay, you take your time, you breathe. Other cats like Maya run very fast, never mind, you can run a little bit slower, it's okay. You're special.
Yeah, Ami?
No, I think for kittens especially, it's best not to make them too aware about your condition because especially if they had, if you're a kitten and you have like an issue, it's usually karmic or due to like trauma. So it's very hard for them to give up. It's very easy for them to like give up the will to live. And also like if it's especially kittens, if like you tell them, oh, you're not going to, are you okay, and you keep like fussing over them, you make them very aware that they are ill, then they may actually unconsciously manifest like the symptoms. So it's actually better for kittens especially not to let them know. But if it's a full grown cat, then I think it's good to sometimes like let them know, but don't put it in like a very pessimistic like way. And because also like the cats sometimes, especially for cats, I feel they have different level of consciousness depending on their interactions like with their owners. So those owners who are extremely spiritual, their cats also are extremely spiritual. So if they reach a particular like level, right, I think they are aware when they are about to go. But they won't be able to predict one. So it won't be like, oh, I'm a cat, I'm going to live until 24th December like this year, and then I will go. But it's like if they're highly spiritual, when their time is near, they will have like a inkling, but just not the exact date. So I think how come there's so many like questions about the
Pet and death.
Okay.
Very depressing, guys.
One is if pet only have XX of months to live, should we let them know, or how should we communicate them? This one I can answer. Taylor, just spend every day with them with happiness and joy, and then when they choose to go, then you call me or Tia.
This is a very funny question because it's like, how do you want to tell that? It's like, okay, you only have
countdown.
Right at the clinic, right? Say like, oh, you have
that, I'm going to get
7 months.
The time only 3 months. You want to eat your treat or not? Trauma.
No, but I would say that actually, just like with humans, sometimes when the vet gives like a prognosis, it's just an estimate. And if you tell your pet that you know at the exact prognosis, right, you may actually hasten it rather than like prolong it, because maybe through the sheer will of like your pet, or like through energy healing, or you may be able to sort of prolong it. Because miracles have worked for human, why not for like pets, right?
Yeah.
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 You know, like we
Yeah.
still joke. We joke about it. We say like Mira, we could have cremated like second week of her with us already, you know. But she's lived like 2 more months with us already. Yeah.
Every day being a naughty cat, which I love. I love seeing because it tells me that she's interested in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shara and Fiona, any questions? Anything?
Yeah, so okay, another depressing question. So if a pet has passed on for like several years already, like are you still able to communicate with them? Because you mentioned there's a transition phase and then some of them are still lingering around because they worry or they are shocked, right? But if they go beyond that, then are you still able to talk to them?
Even if they have crossed over, we still can talk because the soul doesn't die. So I've talked to pets that have like crossed over 20 over years ago, still able to.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Someone
They're
say
reincarnated.
Still able to because not the whole soul reincarnates.
Okay. Very
This,
cool.
this gets more and more complicated and very woo. I love it. We shall have a conversation about like this like next time. But someone is asking, just curious, is AC something that can be done or is a kind of special ability only certain people are able to be? I also want to learn. Tia, teach. Tia, you got course?
Everybody can learn. It can be learned. It's just a matter of being able to quiet your mind down and to trust what you're getting. That's the hard part, but it can be learned. So it takes a lot of practice. So.
Yeah. Fiona, you got any questions?
No, at least fine. No more.
I got another question.
I have a lot of communication
So
issue.
do you have to be face to face with the pet to communicate with them, or like via Zoom, or you see photo, or actually don't need anything at all? You just kind of tune in and you can communicate with me.
Okay, there's different methods of tuning in. So usually you don't need the pet to be in front of you because it's done telepathically. Yeah, but it would be good to know how the pet look like so you can focus on who to talk to. Yeah, so actually if you have the pet in front of you, it kind of get more distracting because the dog will be like jumping all over you and then the cat will be running ahead. So actually with just a photo is good enough.
Since say face to face more expensive, of course.
I have
Now Zoom also face to face, but count as distance session.
Talking about that, okay, so I know Tia the one, but I want to promote little bit. So Tia is an animal communicator. She also does healing for pets. Amelia also does healing for pets, and she also does this thing called distant healing, where every full moon and new moon we give her $36 to go and heal our cat.
38.
Oh, sorry, 38. Sorry.
Discount.
38, correct. Ling is the one who does the money, so I don't know. And every time after the healing, she would do let me show you. She will do a report. Oh my god, where's my screen? Hang on. Oh, here. She will do a report that looks like something like that, and then you can work on it. So it's very cute. This is Fiona's cat, Greer. Apparently, Fiona is not listening to her. Basically, in simple English, without politeness, Fiona is not listening, trying to play, but Greer is trying to tell her something. So then you can keep track of your pet's sort of like process. And then for Tia, okay, so I already have like quite a few friends who use her service. And you see Jasmine Tay over here, we were recommended 5 out of 5 based on the opinion of 43 people. Okay, cannot be bad one. Tia, can I ask how's your session like and how much is it and all that kind of stuff? Also, you can follow her on Essential Healing.
The session can be done distance, over phone, so over Zoom or message or call. It can be at your place, home visit. So it depends on the duration that you need. So it ranges from 15 minutes to an hour session. So it's from $40 to $101 to $8, for a distance session.
So out of curiosity, if you come to, let's say you come to our place and talk to our cats, is it like a translator? Like you say, you ask us a question, then you tell the cat, then the cat tell you, then you tell us. Does it work like that?
It's like a live chat like that, like even for distance session, it works the same.
Oh, is there a difference in terms of like what is the difference like between the face to face and the
Distant one,
remote one? Yeah.
No difference. Yeah, it's only the human whether they prefer face to face or to talk face to face or over the phone. In terms of the communication with the pet, there isn't any difference.
I see.
I think there's some we missed out the question.
Oh, did we?
Was
Okay.
it- When the pet dies due to old age, they are blind, legs aching, problem walking. So if they die, what frame will they change to? Will they have their vision back, go back to young image, long fur or short fur?
So specific. Mohawk haircut.
So not a lot of those that I've talked to, they tend to like to take on the age between 3 to 5. So they look like about 3 to 5 years old.
It's like a young adult, your best looking age lah, is it?
Yeah,
Your best looking age.
yeah. Usually they look around that age. They prefer that look. I don't know what, but they prefer that look.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay, any more questions?
Actually, just now I had a question about trauma.
Okay.
So, like, for example, right, pets who have been through trauma, is it possible to go back to before the trauma has happened and sort of like heal that part or like communicate with them at that point so that they understand what's coming up ahead?
What do you might go back to the point before?
Like, sort of, like, how do I put this? Do you know my question? I'm like trying to phrase it.
I got distracted because someone said that Tia healed chatted with their alpacas. I'm like, alpacas?
Wait, come back to me first.
I want to chat with an alpaca. We'll come. Priscilla, hang on, okay? I'm with you. I'm like, sorry, I don't know.
Like to go back to before the trauma happened and to like, do healing at that point.
You can't undo something that's done. So, but you can only try to heal what has already happened. So, not like a time machine. You can go back and then
Ling, are you trying to ask about something similar to past life regression or something, except it's regressing to the time of the trauma?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you. It's not really possible because it already happened. So unless you can manipulate time, right?
Yeah, no, not that level.
Doctor Strange. Then otherwise, you can't. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, can we talk about the alpacas now? My goodness.
Yes, go ahead.
So cool.
Our newly adopted Kikai was diagnosed with cancer. Free to wait, what? Oh, you mean that Kikai was diagnosed with cancer, but now is free of it, Priscilla. Also, how do you get alpacas? Is it in Singapore? Tia, do you know?
Please don't tell her. We'll have alpacas at
She's in
home.
Anzac.
Can
She's
you?
in Switzerland.
Oh yeah. Can you tell me what do alpacas want?
I can't
They like to
remember.
sleep.
Oh, she can't remember.
I can't
Never mind.
remember what they say during the session. But Kika is cancer free now. I'm so happy. Yay.
Oh, she live in NZ. Okay, never mind. Priscilla and me as friend. Okay. Wow. Apparently, you can talk to like any kind of animal. Has the Singapore Zoo ever hired you to do animal communication before?
No, but I go there to talk to the animals.
Ooh, what do they say?
We should go to the zoo with Tia.
Oh my god, let's
For
do
your admission tickets.
let's do a video
Yeah.
called a trip with Tia to the zoo and talk to all the available animals that we can talk to.
Actually, a lot of them are
Good
very
idea.
hungry,
Good idea.
Oh, they are very hungry. Oh no.
underfed.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so sad.
At
Oh,
Singapore Zoo, hello.
We will not. Okay. Anyway, let's not go there. Okay. But maybe who knows? Maybe Tia went there and then at that timing is almost feeding time, and then they are hungry. See.
So PR.
I know. I work in the media. I know how to do this.
I have a random question. Very random. Like when you talk to animals, right? Like in different countries, do they have different accents? No? Okay.
Now, like some owners ask me, hey, my dog understand Chinese or English. I tell you, you talk to them in Hokkien, they also understand. Because they picked up on our thoughts and emotions, not so much the exact words that we say.
So it's not the words. Okay.
Yeah,
Can
it's
you
not the
imagine
words.
Australian cat? What's up, mate? What's up?
No, cannot understand your accent at all.
Let's see. Someone asked, have you tried to talk to snakes, chicks, and iguana? Wow, snakes and iguana, reptile, chicks is you're talking about like baby chicks or women because chicks I also can talk lah. Okay, just kidding. Go ahead, here.
Have I talked to chickens? I think chickens, yes. Porcupines.
Porcupines?
Snakes, no lah, because nobody has actually kept snakes and iguana as pets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spiders, insects. When we kill ants, do they scream?
I never listened to them.
I feel like we're wasting Tia's time now.
But I try to ask the ants to not to come into the house lah, or the cockroach to go off. If not, they'll get killed by my cats.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's true. Our cats have been killing beetles, and Ling also talks to the lizard by asking them not to come into the house.
Yeah, it's like suicide mission.
I negotiate with them. I say like, okay, anywhere outside the balconies are fine, but you step in the house, then you're not welcome.
Someone say fish leh.
Fish, yes.
Fish, yes. How is Rainbow Bridge like?
How is Rainbow Bridge? Like usually what they show, it's really a very vast, big grass field. Yeah. And it's not like they stay there all the time. They're free to travel anywhere, everywhere they want. And they do sometimes connect back with those humans that have already passed on. Or those, or other animals that have already crossed over. Or they make new friends there. And like, if your pet in the current life don't like to make friends, when they cross over, they are still the same. They are on their own. Yeah, they don't go around and make friends. Yeah. And they are happy that way.
Okay. We are going to wrap up soon. Me and Tia, do you all have any advice for pet owners in general in terms of having both humans and pets to be happy and live in harmony and to live every day with happiness and joy?
I think actually it's good for owners to learn some measure of pet communication so that they can connect with their pet better, because otherwise sometimes the conflict is or the issues are due to miscommunication. But when it comes to and the same thing applies, I think, for healing as well, because I always say to my clients that there's only so much that a healer can help you. If it's not an emergency, urgent issue, it's actually far better for you to do self-heal or to do healing on your pet every day, because then you also connect consistently, and your cat or your dog will feel wow, it's they're so blessed because every day they get this beautiful energy, if you coming to them. So I mean, that's my take on it. It's always good to learn, but for real serious issues, and if you are already at a point where you don't know how to communicate with your own pet, then it's good actually to reach out for animal communicator like Tia, because it actually sort of it really helps, because it's not just helping to clarify for the pet, is really clarifying for the owner. Because most
true.
are sometimes confused.
Tia?
I think it's very important for the owners to take care of themselves. Yeah, emotionally and even physically. They do pick up on our physical discomfort as well. So, and when you take care of yourself and your emotions are balanced and your emotions are good, your pets will feel happy as well. So it's not just about taking care of their physical needs, but also their emotions. And because they take on our emotions, you have to take care of yourself. Yeah, and to make time for them, really.
That's true.
Yeah, I totally agree with Tia, because half the time when I do the distant blessing for a pet and the owner, the pets issues a lot of times come from the owner. Maybe the owners like resolve
Yeah.
the pets will be automatically like good, you know.
Yes.
Okay, I still don't know how to pronounce your name, but someone's asking, will you all have another session again? So I have some. So every 2 weeks we come on Wednesday 8 p.m. to talk about animals. You come lah, you come and share your story with us on Facebook Live lah. Then we can get everybody and talk. And then I have some ideas also about this whole animal communicator thing, but I need to talk to Tia first, about it. If she's willing to do, we book her, then you can watch us get the animal communication live or something like that. But maybe 2 weeks later, and then
Stay tuned.
and then plug, because we're talking about learning to communicate with your cats and energy healing, right? Okay, Ling, you can take this one. Jeng, jeng.
Okay. So we have a energy healing for cats workshop coming up. It will be on the 24th of November, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. via Zoom. So this will be conducted by Amelia. And in this workshop, right, you will learn about energetic systems and chakras of your cat, common issues that can cause illness and behavioral issues in your cat, easy methods to help the energy of your cat, and simple healing methods to heal your cat and strengthen your bonds. So the fun fact about this, right, we're conducting this workshop together. Ami will be conducting the workshop, but for this workshop, 40% will be going to charity. So yeah, when you come, you get to learn, and then you're doing good at the same time. The charity that we are chosen is Kitten Sanctuary, right? Yeah, Kitten Sanctuary.
Someone asked got dog Zoom session by Amelia.
Okay, can
Can,
I do? I mainly so far do cats and dogs. But Zoom session possible, but most of my clients request remote, because for dog Zoom session, the owner has to keep the dog under control. Same issue that here was talking about just now, which is that if the dog is very hyperactive and running around, then might be harder to do, but it's possible. Yeah.
Okay, let me close this. And then, that's about it. If you are interested in more animal stuff and healing stuff, we'll be up every fortnight, Wednesday, 8 p.m. If you have stories to share, type them in the comment, like maybe we can show you all to come and talk live and share your stories and experiences, because I think what our main thing is, we want more pet owners and their pets to be happy, issue free if it's possible, whatever the sort of like the situation it is that you have. That's why we have this sort of thing every fortnight Wednesday, right? And then that's about it. Any last words from Tia and Ami?
Your last words.
Go hug your pet now.
After this, we're gonna go hug
your
them.
pet now. Yes.
Go tell your pet you love them, but don't be in their face so much that they cannot tahan you. Okay.
Yeah, actually, right.
I think everybody have to strive for balance when it comes for like your pet, and I think to just reiterate what like Tia said like just now, which is that basically if you take care of yourself, then naturally like your pet like will do well as well. So if your pet is in a bad state, maybe you should be looking at a healing for yourself first. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very true.
Okay, that's about it for now. See you guys in 2 weeks, and Sin, I will message you about your long story that you need to use tissue box. And then that's it. Thank you everybody for chiming in, and thank you everybody for sharing and contributing your energy and time. Bye bye.
Thank you for joining us. Good night.
Bye.